الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل أعوذ برب الناس.
So, even in this article, it says that Al-Sayuti.
It's Al-Suyuti, ya Ahmar. Salapanchod.
What a blessing this guy is. He's coming here to serve me for your sake by making it easier to show you the actual images. What a blessing this brother is. May the Lord seal you for his glory and do that for all of us. In Jesus' name. Go ahead, brother.
Amen. And you see that this is the same thing that you actually showed. This is the article number 2 that you showed. This is about the Buraida hadith and all. And if we go down on this one, and I will show you the Arabic version of it as well. It says, in form of a pale man, As-Sayuti said, this is one whose color has changed. So according to Al-Sayuti, the color is a problem. That's it. The color is a problem. And I will show you in the Arabic form as well. So now I will show you how this guy, Ibn Fuban Farooq, actually tried to denounce this. And then I will go into details. Sir, now you have to add the screen again.
Yes.
By the way, he said, spot the liar, David Wood, Sam Shamoun, and N3 Crook. So imagine this is his title, number 1. Now look what he's going to do.
Although they admitted that was in Ibn Majah, they were wrong about it being in a Tirmidhi. They were like, oh, it's Hassan, it's reliable, and you said it's Da'if. Not understanding the science. I have a mass, I do takhrij work, right? I check hadith. Now that hadith that they mentioned from Ibn Majah, you see the video, he says from Ibn Majah. Here it is on your screen. The hadith is in fact Da'if. I know because I taught Aqidah and I taught this hadith. Now, the original book.
So let me just pause it from here. This is not an original book. FYI. This is not an original book of Sunan Ibn Majah. Not an original book of Sunan Ibn Majah. So now you cannot see this. So what I have done is I have taken a screenshot of it so that I could zoom in. So now I'm going to show you what is this book that he is showing. So brother, can you please show my screen again? So this is the screenshot. This is not the original book of Sunan Ibn Majah. This is called Da'if Sunan Ibn Majah, and the Salis is Muhammad Nasiruddin Al-Albani.
And by the way, brother, before you go on, that's what we were just quoting. You remember what the Islam question answer said? It says that Al-Albani in Al-Da'if, Ibn Majah said that it is Da'if but can be considered Hassan. That's what he's quoting, guys. He's quoting Ibn Majah's, Al-Albani's commentary on the Da'if, the weak hadith of Ibn Majah. He was telling you that he was quoting Ibn Majah, but that's okay. Go ahead, brother. I just wanted to make that clear. Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. But the problem is that this is not the original book.
Exactly.
This is the, let's say, if I can relate to it, this is the exegesis on the Ibn Majah. So
by Albani.
By Albani, which is born in 1914. It is the 18th century author who is trying to save the backside of Muslimin.
20th century, brother. I have to correct you. 1940, 20. Man, I know.
20, sir, 20.
Math because
My bad, sir.
When you're Muslim, they didn't good math, brother. Come on.
I ate a lot of brain masala tak, so you know that's the problem. So yes, this is Muhammad Nasiruddin Al-Albani, and anyone who can read a little bit of an Arabic does know what it is written. That is why I'm showing it by zooming in as much as possible. Now, after this point, let me show you where the actual Sunan Ibn Majah says in volume number 5 of his book. This is Sunan Ibn Majah, volume number 5, the actual Sunan Ibn Majah, volume number 5. This is hadith number 3781. It was narrated from Ibn Budayda that his father told that the Messenger of Allah said, the Quran will come on the day of resurrection like a pale man and will say, I am the one that kept you awake all night and made you thirsty during the day. Once again, let's read. Like a pale man. And now the classification is Hassan, and you can see in Arabic Asnad Hassan. Asnad Hassan down here. Asnad Hassan.
So it's not Dar Salam that graded it Hassan. The actual hadith in the Arabic hadith, Arabic compiled by Ibn Majah, the Arabic hadith says Hassan.
Yes, sir.
Highlight the Arabic so they can see it. Now, Arabic speakers, read that the Arabic of Ibn Majah, not Darus Salam, inserting the word Hassan in English. The Arabic written by Ibn Majah, Ibn Majah's Arabic, Ibn Majah puts Isnad Hassan, Sanad Hassan, right? Read it again for them.
Yes, and it also says from Ahmad and Waqi' Bashir bin Muhajir, Huwa Hassan al Hadith. Basically, it is a Hassan Hadith. Wa Shaykha Abdullah bin
First of all, my idiot, it's not washayakha, it's washaykhuhu, Abdullah, right? Meaning his imam or his shaykh or his teacher, you idiot. Washaykhu, not washayakha. And first of all, it's not asnad, it's isnad. Ya kalb.
bin Buraida, like you read that. Wal Hadith Shawahid, Anat Tibrani.
Tabarani, huh?
Anat Tibrani and Waghaira. Waghaira means etc. So there are multiple people who are talking about this hadith to be with the Hassan
Now,
Asnad.
brother, let me stop you again. It is very important you read their names. Why? Because it's not just Buraida, Tabarani. For the Muslims who know Islam, they know these names. Tabarani, considered a reputable, renowned scholar, Muslim scholar. So give the names. Who? Because now notice, guys, what Darussalam did. It did not translate all of the Arabic texts of Ibn Majah. It only said Hassan, but did not translate the people that Ibn Majah listed in his Arabic text. But this guy just said that he teaches Aqidah. That means this clown has read the Arabic. This clown knows these names are in the Arabic text of Ibn Majah. Why didn't that slob, pagan stone licker, mention these names?
This is the link for the Da'if al-Bukhari. Sorry, my bad once again. Let me correct it. Da'if Ibn Majah. So this is the link for Da'if Ibn Majah. Okay, so this is Sahih Sunan Ibn Majah and Da'if Sunan Ibn Majah. Okay, and it is AR Islam Way, and this, let me give you the link in the private chat. Brother Sam, you can share it with everyone. Okay, so if we go down to this link, we will see Sahih Sunan Ibn Majah. I hope you guys can see it. Let me zoom in a little more. So it has Sahih Ibn Majah, Sunan Ibn Majah, Sahih Sunan Ibn Majah, Sahih Sunan Ibn Majah, and then it also have the Da'if Sunan Ibn Majah, written by the same author that he is showing, and this is Muhammad Nasiruddin al-Albani, same author who was born in 1914. So same author, this is the same book. Now, problem, what is the problem? Guys, I personally was not able to find it. Maybe someone else can. But what he is showing, he was showing hadith number 29518, which means 29,518. That's what he was showing. Let me share my whole screen rather than this one so that I can flip. So Chrome, Windows, I am Chrome. All right, brother, you have to show my screen, please. Okay, so this is, according to this, he's showing 29,518. The hadith is 29,518, and Da'if Ibn Majah 826. Da'if Ibn Majah 826, and the hadith number is 29,518. Now, he might have some other book. He might have some other classification book with different numbers. But if I look into this book, which is available on the internet, this book does not even have hadiths in 20s thousands. So this book ends at hadith number 4,414. That's it. I don't even have it. So maybe he's using some book which is not here. Maybe the picture is different. Maybe the classification are different. Maybe the publication is different. But at least I cannot find it on the internet. I have the same book in the PDF form, as you can see on my screen now. This is the PDF form of the same book, which is called Da'if Sunan Ibn Majah. And I will share the link for you to download it as well. Brother, please give it to everyone.
Yeah.
This is the link for this PDF. This is also available and downloadable. And if I go on the top, you can see the title is the same. Da'if Sunan Ibn Majah, and written by Muhammad Nasiruddin Al-Albani.
Now these two idiots, Sam Shazam or Sam Shame on You, and the other guy, the Chicken Masala Panchod, they have no idea what they're talking about, because this is the hadith right here, the hadith in Al-Mujallad As-Silsila As-Sahiha, right? يجيء القرآن يوم القيامة كالرجل الشاحب, right? About when the Quran comes as a pale man. Now I want to make this clear out. If they're going to argue that this hadith is sahih, this still proves that this is not literally the Quran, the uncreated Quran that Allah spoke will come and become a man, will be created into a man and have still the word inside of him, right? This is basically, as we explained before in the previous video, if you watch it, please watch part 1 of the video, that this is referring to the recitation of a person. We said the recitation of a person who recites the Quran, his voice is created, right? So this is the deed, the recitation. When a person recites the Quran, this is his deed that will turn into a man on the day of resurrection, which is the created part, right? Because the person's recitation, his voice, is created. So as you can see, قال الألباني في السلسلة الصحيحة, right? This is in السلسلة الصحيحة. أخرجه الطبراني, like Sam Shazam mentioned, في الأوسط, right? And this is the reference right here, right? So they say right here, رواه الطبراني في الأوسط, and in that Tabarani it has وفيه يحيى بن عبد العزيز الحماني. It has Yahya bin Abd al-Aziz al-Hamani as one of the reporters, as one of the transmitters. وهو ضعيف, right? And he is ضعيف, right? As you can see here, وهو ضعيف. It shows that he is ضعيف. Now, we go to the, let's go back to what Sheikh Uthman Farouk, sorry, what his name, Uthman ibn Farouk, said regarding the hadith, right? So this is the book called ضعيف الجامع الصغير, right? الجامع الصغير وزيادته. الفتح الكبير, right? It is تأليف محمد ناصر الدين الألباني, so الشيخ الألباني رحمه الله, right? As you can see, ضعيف الجامع الصغير وزيادته الفتح الكبير تأليف محمد ناصر الدين الألباني, right? So now, if we take a look at the hadith that he was referring to, or he was talking about. So if you go to the first volume, Juz al-Awwal, right, of the book, if you go to page 930, so it's going to take a while. So when we scroll all the way in this book to page 930, right, page 930, this is page 930, as you can see, 930 right here. Alright, so it says in this page, this is the hadith right here. Okay, it says يجيء القرآن يوم القيامة كالرجل الشاحب, right? This hadith has Buraidah in it, hadith of Buraidah, the hadith of Buraidah, the one in Ibn Majah that he was reporting, right? This guy, narration of Buraidah. ضعيف, ضعيف. What does it say here? ضعيف, ضعيف. This is by who? The book of Sheikh Al-Albani, right? He's referring to who? The one narrated by Buraidah, Buraidah, right? ضعيف, okay. The one Sheikh Uthman ibn Faruq was using is actually in a book called the one Sheikh Uthman ibn Faruq was using is the book موسوعة الأحاديث والآثار الضعيفة والموضوع, right? The hadith that are and the athar, meaning the stories that are weak and that are fabricated, right? And clearly this is the one that he was referring to. This is actually a book, right? So this is what he's referring to. This is the number right here, the same number, and this is the same number as well, right? And this is the same number as well, right? You can see 3 hadiths, right? So يجيء القرآن يوم القيامة كالرجل الشاحب, right? ضعيف ابن ماجه, as you can see, ضعيف ابن ماجه. Let me zoom it in. ضعيف ابن ماجه. The second one يجيء القرآن يوم القيامة كالرجل الشاحب is ضعيف الجامع, right? So there you go. And finally, to expose them in the last, this is in the book تخريج أحاديث, right? It's تخريج أحاديث مجموعة فتاوى ابن تيمية, okay? This is المجلد الثامن. This is the 8th volume. You will find here من الأحاديث التي رويت إن القرآن يجيء في صورة الشاب الشاحب, that the Quran will come in the form of a pale man, right? This hadith is narrated by who? This hadith is, the source is Ibn Majah, Kitab al-Adab, Bab Thawab al-Quran, right? Hadith number, etc. Wa Musnad al-Imam Ahmad. What does it say right here? I'll pay attention close. ضعفه الألباني في ضعيف الجامع الصغير برقم this. This is what we showed in the previous, in ضعيف الجامع, in the previous one. The Sheikh al-Albani has made it weak, has classified it as weak. So this is Ibn Majah is weak. In all of these hadiths that talk about the Quran comes in the pale form of pale man are weak. Now notice here Sheikh Uthman ibn Faruq mentions that this website was also correct when Sheikh al-Albani in this website classified it as Hasan. Hasan refers to if there's, and he showed from another hadith that there's another hadith that says that the Quran will come on the day of resurrection and intercede for its reciter, right? Without using the pale man. So this is the thing that people have to understand, that a Hasan hadith is a person who is a hadith that has slight weakness in it. It can have a person who is kind of weak in memory. So he's kind of weak in memory. He might add things from his own or subtract things from the hadith, right? So the added part that this guy added in the hadith, which is why it is Hasan, he added as a pale man. While the other hadiths that are authentic don't mention pale man. They all mention that the Quran will come and intercede for that person on the day of resurrection. While the hadith, the other one, it says, mentions the pale man, which this guy added out of weak memory and which has a slight weakness in it. So this is, as you can see here in Islam Web, this is Islam Web, guys. This is a scholarly website, .net. What do they say? Imam al-Tirmidhi classifies the hadith as Hasan good when it has slight weakness in its chain of narration, right? So as you can see, if you keep scrolling down, this slight weakness could mean one of the following things. The chain of narration includes a reporter classified by hadith scholars as either mastur, whose inward trustworthiness cannot be affirmed by scholars, or weak due to his poor memory or due to making mistakes in his narrations, or known for ikhtilat, weakness or loss of memory in old age. Or it could be a narrator who practiced tadlis or narrates a hadith which he did not hear directly from his shaykh without mentioning the name of the third party from whom he heard it, when he uses the saying of on the authority of so and so from so and so. It could be the hadith which has a slight interrupted chain of narration. As you can see, this is what is meant. Ibn Salah wrote actually, let me go here too. Ibn as-Salah wrote, I have carefully investigated the scholars of hadith methodology and deduced that the Hasan hadith is of two categories. One of the categories is one with an isnad containing a reporter who is known to be truthful and reliable but did not reach the degree of the reporters approved by Al-Bukhari in his Sahih because he is less than them in memorization and precision, right? However, he is more trustworthy compared to the reporters of the Munkar, etc., etc. So this guy would have the Hasan hadith would have a loss of memorization or less memorization than of the Sahih persons, the Sahih narrators. So this guy might come and add some things from, like he added the pale man, right? Which is wrong. This is what Shaykh Uthman, by the way, says.
The interesting thing is they didn't have the book. They never showed a book. They never went and looked it up. Instead, they just Googled it and they're like, we caught you lying. The sad thing is it exposes their level of academics. These people are they're charlatans. They're fakes. They're cheating you. They're giving you this perception when all they're doing is Googling stuff. They're not researching. They're not looking it up. Now, why did that particular website grade it to be Hasan? Because there are other narrations, and I'm putting those in your screen now, that do mention from a stronger ascendant that the Quran will intercede without mentioning coming in the form of a pale man. That narration from Ibn Majah is in it of itself weak. I had already put it on the screen. You can look up the actual narration, not just Google it, look up the book. Now, there are other narrations that do not mention the Quran coming like a pale man. Rather, it just says that for the one who recites the Quran, then the Quran, and one of the narration, the Quran and the Siyam, the Quran and the fasting will intercede for them. What does that mean? It does not mean the Quran is a separate entity. This is their misunderstanding. Rather, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, as Ibn Taymiyyah has explained, said that the Quran here is thawab, yani the reward, thawabuhu, the reward of reciting the Quran. This good deed will intercede with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like fasting.
So as you guys have heard directly from Uthman ibn Farooq's mouth, that he was not wrong, and he exposed Sam Shazam and those people, and he said that the Hasan, this is why the website classifies it as Hasan, because as we said before, the hadith is Hasan because all the rest of the saying is correct except for the pale man. So this guy that was in the narration had a weak memory. He added in the pale man. He said, oh, maybe I think I heard them saying he will come as a pale man, right? So he added this from his own wording, not from the wording of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. And as we have seen, that he did it because out of poor memorization. So this is why the hadith was graded as Hasan. And usually the hadith is, if it on itself is weak. As you can see, the Hasan, as sometimes it can be Hasan Da'if or Hasan Sahih, right? So the hadith is more lenient to the weak, and this is why we say that Hasan is all the rest of the saying that the Quran will come on a day of resurrection and will intercede for his, the one who recited. All the saying is correct except for the pale man, which is weak. So we have exposed them. Wassalamu alaikum.